he will keep the kobolds in line. As he's always done. The kobolds also fear Furnace Face. It was an excellent addition to this expedition.
Snean should be put in charge, Agony.
What?
Snean?
Who?
A representative of the kobolds that all the clans respect.
Snean? You mean the old kobold? No. Tina says.
Not a huge fan of no.
She looks nervous at the little Erd on the shoulder. See through this illusion. Nope. I beg your pardon, wearer of purple and of the mask of black dragons, but the old kobold has been kept alive. He seems to be a spiritual leader. He might very well be a priest of Kurtulmak, but to kill him would rankle many of the slaves that do the hard work. We don't want another uprising.
Brandos, just rising.
No,
Rising.
we don't. Continue to dig. She nods. Is there anything else? My companions will gather what they need from the fallen wizards. Do your job well, and you will be rewarded. She nods. So one of the feats I've been sitting on for Agony is leadership.
Oh.
His cohort was potentially stolen by Macath.
We're trying to get a freedom spell to try to get it back.
This could very well be the place where Agony...
Yeah, you now run a kobold mine. To dig up god bits.
Apparently you guys have cooed your way into running a mine.
Now, keeping it is going to involve somebody who remembers who, like, the normal people who visit the mine are, so we can visit them and let them know that they should be a small animal in the petting zoo or a smear under.
Well, that's the
Blake's
thing.
boot.
For this second, you have the mine under your control. Agony sends Tina off on some business to go make sure that they keep digging and to show you the artifacts that they found so far. Grab what you need off those wizards.
All right, I got what I need. This thing's a beaut.
Master, we've stopped... Papa, we've stopped firing at the golem.
Hey, he's our buddy now. Furnace Face.
I think Ahmed would like a furnace face. Give a giggle. He might even swap out, like, you can see him being useful in the crafting.
Yep.
Alright,
Widget, Quintessa, Barnabus, Eamon, can you grab what you can off those cultists?
oh yeah, Widget will go and loot.
Easy.
Barnabas goes, but he
Yeah.
points at things for Eamon to pick up.
That's fine. Eamon glances to Barnabas. Is he giving the orders now?
For the time being, he's giving the orders. Keep an eye out for the scent.
Did you have to... There's brains everywhere.
Yeah, you gotta get the brains. That's where they store their spells. In their heads, right?
Yep.
Well, that's what you told me. You shouldn't have told me that. Plus, it makes it easier to get out their teeth.
Snap.
But now this scroll is covered in brains. Very difficult to read.
He grabs the scroll. All the magical writing.
You got
I
another
think the rest of
complaint?
the scrolls were easy enough to read, aren't they?
You got another complaint?
I think we're good.
All right.
Gathering teeth.
He's not mindless yet. Oh,
No, but his next level, every level of Juggernaut, he takes a minus penalty to diplomacy, sense motive, and bluff.
sense motive is a big thing.
Yeah, it's like you could lie to him, but then if you get
You can also feint him.
yeah,
Oh shit!
he becomes
But his dex means nothing. And you can't.
well, his
sneak
dex is
attack him.
plus 2 or 3 right now, so it's not too bad. But
He's pretty.
he just becomes less human or less humanoid. The more he goes up that prestige class. Slake is. There's some evil has been revealed here. Slake is completely a madman when it comes to wizards and Agony. You don't know if he's playing or not. You don't know if he's playing pretend or not.
Well,
Barnabus isn't disturbed by it so much as I need a contingency plan for angry Slake.
yep. Well, Widget cast the spell to make them sleep, and his alignment doesn't give a damn about this sort of action.
Yeah, well, neither does Barnabas. Barnabas is like, yes, this makes it easier to collect their things.
Has Slake gone evil? I don't think so. He's neutral.
No, he's neutral. Chaotic neutral?
Chaotic neutral or just neutral?
No, he's chaotic neutral.
Well, he did just murder sleeping people. That's
Sleeping evil people.
murder's murder.
He's chaotic and he murdered a bunch of slavers.
I'm not saying immediate.
No,
but
no.
it was a
If
bad
he
thing.
keeps it up,
Well,
but,
it's definitely in the uh-oh column.
Yep.
Oopsie, it's an oopsie poopsie
It-
column.
It's a red flag. Let's put it
for
that
sure,
way.
for sure. We've
Yeah,
seen two
yeah.
red flags here today.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
There's a reason we don't have a paladin around.
So we're gonna see if what they've collected. We're gonna collect up the treasures. We're gonna assess the competency of Furnace Face, which Thogrim can assess at another point. Does Furnace Face have is Furnace Face immune to magic like most golems?
Yeah, go ahead and so Furnace Face, his infused powers will diminish like the further he gets away from the volcano, but you can go ahead and look at what a furnace golem does.
Cool. Because I have a feeling
10d6, 50-foot line, breath weapon, and then he tries to stick you inside.
Marty, you
Yeah.
know what? This is a question. I'm gonna ask this question maybe on Saturday when Ahmed's around because he discussed it with Thogrim. If it would be possible to transfer Slake's consciousness or whatever is left of Slake into Furnace Face or something similar.
Interesting. Okay, I'll chew on that.
then Sonny's follow-up question is going to be, how about we try to once we distill his essence, why don't we reincarnate him as a fucking anything from the realm again? and then Brenos will be like, or we use proper magic and resurrect him as a dwarf. That's the conversation, and you can think about all three of those branches of that
Oh, we
conversation.
can all remember how much he hates magic and just leave him dead.
Once we kill him.
So Barnabas
The
is
operating
chewing,
table.
chewing on the contingency plan.
Which might be convincing him to submit to something and killing him, because he submits a lot, right? He turns off.
Once he turns off, he's ours to do with.
Hey, Thogrim, open him up.
Okay, well, I'll open up. He's gonna tap him with the rod, and
Okay,
the belly will open.
Slake
What's
starts
Slake have in his hands?
sticking the dead bodies into the
That's fine.
into the furnace.
That is the least ridiculous thing he's done in quite some time. It's the least ridiculous thing he's done this adventure.
By the time the kobold priest of Tiamat and Tina return, you do see that there are a couple of other kobolds that are leading groups of kobolds that look like they're very interested in what's going on. There is a kobold troop that is carrying what looks like a large box, like they've built a large chest with handholds, almost like an ark, and they're bringing it forward. Now, Kurtulmak had a number of things in his bag or in his person that when the mountain exploded, some of his stuff went flying into this valley and went underground enough that they had to mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
No,
9.
I don't know where we want to pick up because I have a meeting in 6.5 hours, so I don't know where we want to pause.
Give me a D9.
Okay. just Mark, if you could do that, we're just going to need one at some point because somebody did make an 8 a.m. meeting just before Memorial Day weekend because they don't
hate
like
you.
fun.
4, 5. Oh, this is one of the better ones. There's crying. The kobolds, the non-Lavahorn tribe kobolds don't want this to be given away. Like, there are several hundred, if not 1,000 kobolds weeping as this ark is being brought forward. The Lavahorn tribe are now whipping at the throngs of kobolds that are trying to come forward and trying to keep the peace.
Oh, great. Agony-of-Acid. Wearer of one of the 5 masks of the great dragon goddess that has cloaked this world in ash, that has slain Kurtulmak. Via her greater trickery. No, Kurtulmak, no. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. In the name of her and offering, may she escape her bonds in hell. May she escape the unhallowed Grimstone.
Sonny is very interested in what's in the box.
What is the unhallowed Grimstone?
Give me a roll.
Yes, I would like to know what I need to roll.
Knowledge planes.
I will take one of my many 20s. And I think for this particular one, because you just name dropped the campaign.
Yeah, it only took
spend a
us
mythic point.
4 seasons and 34. We've named Grimstone before. Grimstone has been uttered, but perhaps not with Barnabus near.
Somebody who actually was like, you know.
So, and I'll spend a... So I'll take 20, spend a mythic point, and use an inspiration. 96.
Uh, 96.
Yeah.
Grimstone is the place where Tiamat is trapped in hell.
Okay.
And it is a place where a part of one of the 9 seals of creation is believed to be written. And the only way that they were able to trap a god was by using the power of this seal as a sigil to keep her there.
Okay, so...
And with a 96, you have any way of boosting that to 100?
Cognitogen boosts it to 100, literally 100.
The specific seal,
because the +4 ends up being a +4 on my roll too.
the specific seal of creation that this is on top of, or a part of the seal, is the seal of good and evil. The cosmic thing that was written that allowed there to be evil and good planes, and that was written in the time when good and evil became a thing.
So if they use the seal to bind her to hell,
Yes.
and she plans on escaping hell, she plans on destroying the seal?
You have no idea what the impact of that would be, or if it's even possible.
Well, the goddess seems to think it.
You should not have this knowledge. How does Barnabus know this?
Um,
Like, as a mortal, you shouldn't have DC 100 knowledge of cosmic things.
Barnabas. Oh, he's got. He's using mythic power
Mm-hmm.
to go into the little gem library of geode.
So your mythic power is the reason why you're able to tap into things. Okay?
Yes.
You think you picked up this knowledge because you visited hell recently as well? And it's probably not unknown knowledge that Tiamat is trapped in a place called Grimstone.
Well, no, I would imagine.
And then maybe your doctorate into like the way the planes work
Mm-hmm.
actually kind of said there is something opposite of this on the lawful spectrum, also in the upper planes.
Yeah.
It's the other half of the 9 seals of creation.
Right.
So if Tiamat escapes, does that mean Grimstone needs to be weakened or destroyed, and evil axis no longer applies?
That would be
No, the good evil.
I think
Sorry,
it's
the good evil. What we did was an action today. We committed an action. Was it a good action or an evil action? It might have been an atrocity, you know.
You're either you can be lawful meh, neutral meh, or chaotic meh.
Of course, these things were laid down tens of thousands, if not 100,000 years before Tiamat was even
Yes.
trapped
Well,
there, right?
It might, and if the seal is broken, that doesn't mean lawful and evil go away. It might mean no new lawful and evil are created.
Well,
Right? It might be a slow unwinding.
it might just be the undoing of good and evil.
Sorry, good and evil. You know what I'm
Planes.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, good and evil planes.
Or just a rule about how they interact. A good and an evil plane
Yeah.
might be able to connect to one another, or maybe it stops good and evil are opposites in the magic. So good people can't cast evil spells, just straight up. It might
Mhm.
break that. So now it's your good caster can start
But
eye biting people.
Barnabas, there was one you were in the taxi ride in hell, or in the limo, in the Gorgon limo, and a errant newspaper had whipped up against the window because everything had been kind of chaotic in hell as of late.
Yep.
And you saw a little news blurb that it was news from the Grimstone prison that Tiamat is definitely awake and she's very cranky. It was like some sort of news flash that was just letting people know that yeah, Tiamat's awake and she's very cranky.
If you hear any grumbling in the neighborhood, that's what that is.
The last thing that you learn from a 100 knowledge check, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think we've seen that before. maybe Barnabus has actually scraped above 100, but
Oh, he did once.
previous characters. Grimstone is on the, I believe, the first layer of hell.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I did.
And you know,
Doesn't it guard the gate to Dis, or isn't? Or
there is a path that leads to Old Dis. That
old Dis? Okay.
that Grimstone is along that path, and then you also recently came across a certain person that rules over the first layer,
Yes, that is true.
whose devils are in this vicinity.
Yes.
We're busy here and not there.
Okay.
Curious. They open the box, and I will end it after I talk about what's here. Inside the box is a single scale of multi colors that is changing. Barnabus
I'm kidding.
or whomever, Knowledge Arcana.
Barnabus will, he'll take 20 on the Knowledge Arcana, and he's going to do the same thing again. This time, however, I will roll. Will be 1, 2, 6 plus. Hang on a sec. I gotta remember to add my Cognatogen this time. So 89. 111.
The Legend of
His nose starts to bleed from the mental effort.
Well, it is called the Scale of the Horned Sorcerer. Kurtulmak, when he was immortal, is said to have taught himself sorcery before it even existed for his race. It was during a time when kobolds had not learned and mastered magic. The scale acts like a book of infinite spells, except the scale must be affixed to the flesh like a tattoo. Once completed, the scale disappears and would appear on some other random, in some other random place or someone that Kurtulmak wishes to boon.
You tattoos yourself with the thing. So is this like the thing that lets you all the spells?
No, a Book of Infinite Spells is a random spell, and when you cast it, there's a chance the page turns to another spell and it has a number of pages before it disappears.
Huh.
It could be a cantrip, it could be a wish spell. On the next page. Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
We might give that to the devils. Here you go. We make all the kobolds sad.
All right. As is tradition, we name our games after we play them.
Conflict resolution. Leadership.
Agony's mine.
Enemy
Mine.
My mine?
My mine.
My mine. Me. Mine.
Enemy mine. Mine. Mine.
Sweet child mine.
Mine means, like the German means my, right? Doesn't it?
Yep. Mine.
So mine.
Mine.
Good. Unless we think of something else. Yes, you've temporarily absconded with an artifact whose effort was not yours to unearth. And how long you keep up this ruse, or does Agony stay here?
He doesn't even have to stay here. We give
We
him
walk
orders, and he
away.
just
We
checks
come
out and
back
goes,
in a
"Wow."
week. Where's our shit?
Yep.
Yeah, so the party can decide what they want to do here.
Yep.
Okay, mine written into the books. For those watching on YouTube, which is where this video will appear, thanks for your support. For those hanging out in the channel with us tonight, it's good seeing you folks here. And as always, we hope you enjoy this as much as we do. We'll see you folks on Saturday.
Yep.
What is the party doing after mine?
Are we?
Giggling because it's funny to say.
Yeah.
It's. Is it well? Do we need the freedom spell still? Because we were getting that to find his familiar is really all we cared about.
You are also, I think, at level.
I think so.
We're gonna train,
Sell, and then do some crafting. The thing to watch out for is that you are 12 weeks away from, I guess after this Amalgamons adventure, you are 11 weeks away from certain characters going to Tarak.
I have a solution to our selling time that I want to discuss with you, Marty. We can do it at the beginning of the next game, but
Sure. The Darbians are also selling a lot of your stuff for you, and they can get over half of your stuff.
Okay.
So that's part of the solution, unless there's a different solution.
I was going to ask if there's such a thing as auction houses.
I mean, that's
All right.
kind of okay. Good place to leave it.
I'll go. You can keep talking.
Yeah,
but
that's kind of how you would get rid of items, unless you wanted to somehow. Auction houses would probably allow you to optimize how much money you get if you invested in building an auction
Yes,
house.
we
for
just
yourself.
have to wait until the actual auction happens.
Right.
But at the same time, we're not wasting time just weeks and weeks trying to find a place to sell shit.
Yeah, your followers are good for this as well.
Yeah.
There's something like 13 sell weeks that need to happen with the current treasure that's in the backlog, and they can basically spend quite a bit of their time getting rid of treasure for you, while you're doing other things like leveling and crafting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good optimization. All right. Let's end the stream here. It was good hanging out with you folks. Peace. Have a good night.
Good night. Stick around for a second there, Marty.
Okay, yeah.